Hello, Todd McMitchen here, Director of Generosity by Lifeway. Normally I do these tips that I call secrets of generosity experts. We actually do know secrets because, we spend 24 hours a day. That's an exaggeration, but we spend all day in the generosity world year after year. So we certainly know things that pastors don't commonly know, and oftentimes they're very easy to put into play, and I help you do that. Today, we are going to talk about what I would call a ninja secret, all right? It's not easy to put into play. Very, very few churches are doing it. But if you will do what I am about to teach you to do, that you can see margin in giving increase year over year, 10, 20, 30%. It's a big, big deal. It will reduce your stress. It'll make giving fun, and you will advance the cause of Christ and grow your church faster than what you currently are. So you're going to want to watch this video. It's going to be a little longer than normal. It has two parts to it. And if you have someone in your congregation who is a business owner or is very good with business, then you're going to want to ask them to watch this with you and help you. So here it goes. I call it savvy stewardship. Savvy stewardship. It has two steps. Step number one is we have to increase above and beyond giving. Now, don't think about a capital campaign that runs every 3 years. The one thing we learned about capital campaigns is people are more than willing to give above and beyond resources. What I want to help you do is engage those 52 weeks out of the year all the time. So we're going to create a fund for above and beyond giving. I'm going to call it the Impact Fund. You can call it whatever you want. There are 5 areas that people enjoy giving above and beyond funds to. Area number 1 is the next generation. They love to support preschool children student ministries. Number 2, capital. They love to build buildings, refurbish buildings. That's why capital campaigns work. Third, local outreach. People are passionate about their city. They love to make a difference in people's lives in their city. National ministries, with this church planting across North America, are helping out in some of our poorer, harder to reach cities. And then global missions. So 5 areas. Your church is often a part of those, and you fund them in your budget. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to create an impact fund, and you can pick one of those. You can pick all 5 of those, but create a list of items with their dollar amount that if you had the resources, you would go do that exact thing in the next generation ministry or in capital. For instance, if you said the children's ministry rooms needed to be repainted, $20,000. If you needed a new sound system in the youth room, $30,000. All right. If you wanted to help plant a church in your city, $100,000, whatever those numbers are, you want to create tactile items with dollars next to them, and you want to think of it of things you couldn't fit into your budget this year, but you hoped and dreamed you'll be able to do in future years, and make the total dollar amount 2 to 3 times your current annual budget. Make vision big. Make it personal. Make it tactile. In your mind, what you're saying is I'm funding future budgets in advance. Now, the second thing you want to do with that is make sure those are growth-oriented items. They're going to help grow your church. They are your best ministries. They help engage the people the most, and they help reach people. So by raising above and beyond dollars, which people tell us they want to give all the time, they're doing it all the time. Instead of waiting for the 3-year capital campaign, you're going to make a fund available 52 weeks of the year. You're going to preach it. You're going to teach it. You're going to train. You're making it live. You're going to report on it. It's big. 5 areas. You pick the 5. You're funding future budget years is all you're doing. Things you couldn't fit into this budget. You're going to make it tactile. It's going to be 2 to 3 times your current budget. So if vision is big, you always have something to give to. All right. People are looking to give to vision that advances the cause. That's why they often go to outside nonprofits to give above and beyond dollars. So step 1. Increase above and beyond giving. Now let's get to the savvy stewardship. Now that you have increased above and beyond giving, you have actually funded future year budget items, and you focused on growth orientation. You're going to experience numeric growth in your church at a faster rate than you previously had. That numeric growth is going to help increase ongoing giving. You're also increasing above and beyond giving. You now have more resources every year than you've had in the past. You can do 3 things with those resources. Number 1, you can create margin. Go into your budget and reduce some expenses now that you have more dollars and more above and beyond dollars. Create margin and cushion. Financial pressure in churches is related to how much margin you have. If you'll have margin, you will no longer have these discussions about budget is tight, cut back your ministry expenses. Choose to have margin. Don't choose to have stress. So create margin. And if you're reducing some of your ministry items, you have more total resources because we've grown the church and we have more ongoing giving and more above and beyond giving. So create margin. It will bless you. It will, two, take that margin and make it available to do things you normally would not be able to do. Every year, surprise ministry opportunities are going to come along, and you're not going to take advantage of it because you don't have the resources. You'll sit in your team meeting and you'll say, man, we would if we only had. Well, now you have. So know that you're positioning yourself to get involved in things you normally wouldn't be involved in because you've created margin. Other things you can do with that, or you can advance causes that aren't as motivating, right? So you have things in your budget that you know need to happen and need to occur, but they're just not as motivating to give to. For instance, you could reduce debt. Reducing debt is not all that motivating. However, when you create margin and you're paying for the most motivating things that are growing your church, you can then come back into your budget and you can reduce some expenses, and then you start paying down principal. You're paying down principal, you're increasing margin, and you're increasing above and beyond giving, all while you're growing. These things can happen, all right? You just have to plan this way and think this way. They can happen. Finally, when you keep going this direction and you string a few of these years together, your margin is going to be able to actually increase. Your cash reserves will actually increase. Your debt load will actually decrease, and you'll find yourself paying cash for things that you never thought you could. You will be advancing faster. It will be more enjoyable for you and your team. It'll be more enjoyable for your givers because the success stories will be immeasurable. It's called savvy stewardship. You have to have generosity that raises above and beyond in your most return on investment ministries, those that are reaping the greatest results. Then you have to repurpose your budget expenses to pay down things, to store up cash reserves, and to start storing money up to pay for big cash items. I promise it works. You can't fail with this plan, team, but you need to have some savvy help in how you do the fundraising part of it, as well as how you reallocate your expenses. You can do this. Go unleash giving today.